Hi guys, and welcome to my ranking of all seven Scream films, ranked worst to the best. Yeah, just like to say, kind of like just before I kick off, just kind of like a reference. I still think that the Scream films are still kind of like the most consistent horror franchise out there. There isn't really, I still haven't seen a Scream film I've really disliked. So yeah, I still think that there isn't what I would say a bad film on this list. Yeah, so there's certainly entries that they've done where there's issues there, which I'll kind of like get into briefly. But yeah, basically there hasn't been a bad Scream film here. So yeah, basically don't look at this ranking as and kind of like saying that some of these are rubbish and we gotta work to the best. Like I said, I don't think that they've done a rubbish Scream film. But yeah, basically, yeah, I think that this franchise has been pretty consistent, I have to say. So yeah, basically, yeah, with being said, let's start this off. So yeah, in seventh place, coming in last place, I have to say it's gonna be Scream Seven. I did toss up between this and the next one that's going to be on my list. I think it's really close. So who knows? Over time, that may change. Yeah, maybe when they do Scream Mate, I'll do another ranking and we'll see if has changed. But yeah, for now, obviously, I've got to plant my flag in the ground, and I'm gonna just say that Scream Seven is yeah, I'm going to put in seventh place. And the reason for that is just simply because there was a lot of elements in this new entry that I really enjoyed, but the finale was a big letdown, and unfortunately, like normally I'm not one of the people who kind of like would basically just let the ending of the film kind of like affect their whole enjoyment. But here it kind of did, I have to say. So yeah, I just thought the way that they tied all of this up was just the sloppiest, worst job that a Scream film has done of a reveal. And yeah, just everything from the reveal to the motivations to everything was just so dumb. Some people so yeah, that kind of like yeah, so for that reason I gotta put it in last place. So next up we have Scream 3. This was previously, this was one that everyone unanimously agreed was the weakest in the franchise. That might still be the case. I don't know now, but yeah, yeah, and then like I said, I feel like again there's a lot to enjoy here. I think that this is still arguably the funniest Scream film that we've got. I think that some of the cast bounce off each other wonderfully. Courtney Cox and Parker Posey, in particular, have some real great back and forths here. So yeah, I still get a lot of enjoyment out of this. I Yeah, like I said, I do feel the Hollywood setting takes it out for me a little bit. I totally understand why they maybe would do a Hollywood set Screen film. I think that it that it fits all the kind of like film within the film kind of meta commentary that this franchise is known for. But yeah, just I think in terms of just kind of like in like creating that suspense, to kind of immersing the audience, I think that's just always just much better when it's kind of like in a much more suburban kind of or real setting, I guess. But yeah, basically, again, I wasn't overly keen on the reveal here, but I can make my peace with it a hell of a lot more than I can with Scream 7. You know, at least it does kind of make... The only thing I didn't really like about the reveal here was it did just kind of make Roman look a little bit whiny and a little bit like, you know, you're going to pay for all the life you took from me. And it's like, dude, you ended up as a Hollywood director. You've done all right, you know. But yeah, like I said, I can accept everything in this movie a lot more than that. Like I said, I think, like I said, there are stuff in Scream 7 that I think the highs of that are more than the highs in here. But yeah, I think the lows in Scream 7 are significantly lower than any of the lows that we get in this. So yeah, that's why Scream 3 finds itself at 6th place. So yeah, moving up in 5th place. And this might be a bit of a hot take because this is kind of like a fan favourite of some of you guys. But in 5th place, I'm going to go for Scream 4. This is another entry that I really enjoyed. I was really intrigued to see like what Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson were going to bring, especially seeing as I promised this was only going to be a trilogy. But you know, I was a big fan of Scream, so I could easily forgive them for lying to us. Okay, so basically, yeah, we like I said, there's a lot to enjoy here. I really liked Emma Roberts' character here, and I really like that reveal of it. The other reveal I didn't like so much, but yeah, I like the reveal here, and I do appreciate that the reveal here didn't end up necessarily being the finale, that there was more to it here. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that. Obviously, this was the entry that introduced Kirby, another fan favourite. So yeah, like I said, I think that the only thing that holds it back personally for me is that it has got this like Vaseline kind of like gloss on its look, which just feels makes it feel like a little bit off. And like I said in my full review of it, for me personally, I just don't think I feel like this is one of the sequels that, along with Scream 7, perhaps has the least to say, at least in terms of its meta commentary and all of that. I don't think, like, it tries to do this by basically talking about remakes and stuff like that, but it doesn't quite land. But you go, well, because this is a remake, it doesn't quite land for me personally. But yeah, I know that I might be on an island with that. I know that this definitely has a fan favourite with some of you guys, but yeah, for me it ends up kind of like more or less smack down in the middle of the brilliant to okay list that we got of Scream films here. So yeah, moving on up the ladder, in 4th place, we're gonna have Scream 2022. This was the recall, reboot, whatever you like to call it, but yeah, and like I said, I think this also did a lot of things right. I really liked I really liked the introduction of Melissa Barrera here. I thought that the character that she played was really intriguing. I thought it was really nice, and we kind of got this protagonist who was essentially still had this, because of her connection to Billy Loomis, had this kind of edge to her, which we kind of like see at the end, where she just finally lets rip and just goes completely stab happy. But but yeah, I thought that this there was a lot to admire about this. I thought that the death of Dewey wasn't really executed the greatest, but I can appreciate the bold swing that they took with it. I thought that the reveal of the killers here were okay. They were solid enough, which again isn't something else I feel like maybe I'm on a bit of an island with, because a lot of people didn't really like the reveals here. Not as much as maybe with the next one on the list though, because yeah, coming in third place, I'm gonna go for Scream 6. And yeah, the reveals in the killers in this movie, it didn't entirely land for me, but I didn't dislike it nowhere near as much as some of you guys here. I could still kind of like make my peace with it. Obviously, we got that continued exploration of Melissa Barrera and her relationship with General Ortega. So yeah, like I said, I think and also I think this was the only Scream film, obviously, that didn't have Neve Campbell in it, and I actually think that actually elevated this movie, despite how Scream 7 kind of tries to make it out like this was a real weakness of this movie. I actually think that the absence of Neve Campbell elevated this movie, and as I said before, I don't mean that disparagingly to Neve Campbell or the character of Sydney, but yeah, I just think that in terms of, just for me personally, what I kind of like want to see from the moving forward of this franchise, and if you are going to do a Scream film for kind of like in the next generation, if you like, and you're going to introduce all these new characters, you kind of want to see them stand on their own 2 feet, and you don't want to really necessarily feel like you constantly have to play the nostalgia card, or like I said, and as we saw in the third film, we had basically followed this character through to where she was kind of like essentially hiding, essentially going off the grid. So you can only make up so many times why she would come back to kind of like reopen those wounds. But so yeah, I think that it actually worked for me personally. So yeah, like I really liked like the opening here, the little swerve where we think we get a Ghostface reveal at the beginning, and then yeah, all of that stuff I really liked. So yeah, basically I really enjoyed this movie, I gotta say, and yeah, we basically we got to see Ghostface with a shotgun as well, which again I really enjoyed. It was only a little thing, but because of like we're just, I guess it's the one thing that I could mark Scream the Scream franchise down for, which is basically that we essentially have the kills aren't necessarily always that innovative. We are kind of going for stab kills, and I am a horror fan who kind of like some elaborate and innovation in my kills sometimes. So yeah, I'm kind of like down for that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it was only a little thing, but I did appreciate it. I appreciated that we got Ghostface with a shotgun and stuff like that. So yeah, but all of that was cool. So yeah, basically, I made a mistake with the review of a Ghostface. Was that Scream 6 or was that Scream 2022? I think it was, because yeah, Scream 6 was a New York one. Was set in New York as well, wasn't it? So yeah, which I think kind of like which I thought was another benefit to this. benefit from this as well. I think I'd maybe taken it outside of a Woodsboro setting and into the New York setting. I think it allowed then just opened a few more doors where you could like utilize like back anyway subways and stuff like that. Which I think really appreciate it. Yeah, I was kind of like doubting myself for a second where we kind of got this with the ghost face at the beginning, and then I started doubting myself. I was like, actually, was that Scream 6 or was that Scream 2022? The two kind of like gel in my memory a bit now. But yeah, I think I'm right. I think that Scream 6 was the but so yeah, that was kind of yeah. So yeah, I liked all of that stuff. Yeah, so yeah, I thought that this was a solid continuation from Scream 2022. So yeah, in second place we're going to go with the first sequel, Scream 2. This is a sequel that's really gone up. I mean, in my estimation over the course of time. When I first saw it, I liked it, but it didn't quite land with me. There was stuff like I wasn't necessarily a big fan of the university setting and all of that. But over time, I've learned to really come to appreciate this more and more. Yeah, like I think this sequel essentially just does everything that you want a strong sequel to do, where it essentially delivers on a lot of the things that you enjoyed about the first film, but just kind of gives it a new look, a new packaging. I think that it's this film has one of the most suspenseful scenes in it, where Sydney and Hallie are trapped in the back of a car police car that's pressed up against the wall with an unconscious Ghostface in the driver's seat, and they have to crawl over. I thought that was one of the most suspenseful scenes in the entire franchise. I think I do have to. I think that the reveals of this, I really enjoyed Timmy Oliphant in this. I really enjoyed Laurie Metcalf in this. Yeah, I think at this, from a technical standpoint, I thought this was a really solid sequel. My only critique of it is that they killed Randy off, which I still can't forgive them for. So yeah, but other than that, I thought that this was a really solid sequel, guys. Yeah, as you will have expected, coming in first place, you still can't beat the original. So yeah, coming up top of this list and still the best that this franchise has offered is the original Scream. And yeah, this is a movie that started it all. This is a movie that kind of like brought new life into the slasher genre, and it's just one of those films that just neither of those copycats or its sequels have managed to quite recapture. Yeah, I just yeah, what can you say about this movie that hasn't already been said? But yeah, like I said, you guys know how great this movie is, and so for that reason, it's coming in at number 1. So yeah, thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please feel free to let me know down in the comment section about what your own ranking of the Scream films are. Obviously, my list isn't the right list; it's just my list. So yeah, please feel free to let me know down in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this, on how you would rank the Scream films. And until next time, I will see you guys on the next video. You guys take care.